YouTube, it's Zoe. Today I'm going to share with you all some more books that have made me cry because we all know I cannot run out of those recommendations. I cry in basically every single book that I read. If you stick around this channel long enough, I'm sure you're going to see me cry at some point. If you are like me and you really want that cathartic feeling of letting your emotions take control of you, I'm going to share some recommendations of books that have made me cry. Just stick around, but first, I am going to share with you all this box from Penguin Random House. They were so nice. They contacted me and asked me if I wanted to unbox this box that has some books that will make you cry and some supplies for crying in books. Obviously, my reputation for being a book crier is preceding me, and now the publishers know. I'm not really sure what's inside. Let's open up this box. Oh my gosh! First thing I see, bubble wrap. I already love it. Fanciest box I have ever been sent. Fashion. It matches my bookshelves. It's like they know me. This is what's inside. There are 3 books. Oh, the first one I see is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. Moyes? I have already read this book. I absolutely love it. I have an entire review video for this book on my channel. I will leave it down below somewhere if you want to know more of my thoughts, but it's one of the best books I have ever read. If you don't know what Me Before You is about, it follows Louisa Clark. She is in her 20s, she just lost her job, and she doesn't really know what she wants to do with her life. She finds a job as a caretaker for a man named Will Trainer, who used to be a very high-powered professional man. He used to be an adrenaline junkie, but then one day he got in an accident and he was wheelchair bound. He can't feed himself and he can't take himself to the bathroom, so Louisa is pretty much doing everything for him, and he doesn't like it. He liked being in control of his own body and having this very exciting life. Louisa is miserable taking care of this unhappy man. They start to understand one another, and it is amazing. This book made me cry like no other book before. I was sobbing so hard that tears weren't even coming out of my eyes because I was so dehydrated and there was snot and tears. It was disgusting, but it didn't even matter because I was so engrossed. You can see some of my sobbing in my Me Before You review, but that's not the extent of it. Definitely go read it first. Read it first and then go see the movie. And there is Me Before You merch inside here. I don't know if you can see, but I'm so excited. I have not seen the movie yet. The movie adaptation for this just came out. Sam Claflin's in it, and I love him so much. Even the trailers made me tear up. I don't know what the movie's going to do to me. It's safe to say that it's going to destroy me, just like the book. There's a poster for the movie. Yes, I'm gonna have Sam Claflin on my walls, everybody. This is the real movie poster, guys. What are these? It has the movie poster on it too. They're Kleenexes! They're tissues! Oh my gosh, I'm going to bring these to the movies. Oh, yes I am. I totes love the totes. The lamest jokes come from this channel. There is a mug. A mug. I collect mugs, everybody. It says Just Live, and there are bees on it. Speaking of bees, there are socks. These are loose socks. Oh my gosh. They gave me 2 tickets to see Me Before You. I could be nice and give one of them to someone who I would see the movie with, or I could just go twice by myself. This is absolutely too much, but thank you so much, Penguin, and there's still some more. There were 2 other books in the box. The first one was Sarah Dessen's Saint Anything. I used to be the biggest Sarah Dessen fan in middle school and early high school. I had read all of her books up to that point that were published. I haven't read anything of hers since, I think, early high school. I'm excited to see what she has written since then. This follows Sydney, who is pretty quiet and doesn't really like to be the center of attention. But then one day there is a terrible accident which lands her brother in jail and thrusts her family into the media spotlight. She starts to hang out with this family called the Chathams. They own the local pizza place, and she finds a place in this family. One of the family members' name is Mac. I'm guessing he's a love interest, so keep an eye out for that if you are reading this book. It's also supposed to focus on friendship, love, family, and of course, self-improvement and self-reflection. I love that about Sarah Dessen's books. They always have this really incredible introspective feel to it, and if it was in the box, that means it will make me cry. So, this sounds good. The last book in the box is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. This is about two twin siblings called Noah and Jude. They used to be inseparable. Noah is very quiet and reserved, and Jude is very outgoing, and she speaks for the both of them. But then something happens and they fall out of touch. This is told in two perspectives from Noah and Jude's point of views. Noah talks about their early years when they used to be inseparable, and then Jude talks about present day. I love how it focuses on sibling relationships because a lot of books don't actually focus on sibling relationships. They either focus on parental relationships between the child and the parent, or they just focus on friendship or romance. This book has actually been in my Amazon cart for I think 6 months, at least 6 months. I have been wanting to buy it for so long. Now it's mine and I get to read it. Thank you so much, Penguin, for sending me this box. It was amazing, and thank you for sponsoring this video. And now, let's get on to some more cry-worthy book recommendations. Number 1 is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. This is a novella bind-up for the Throne of Glass series, and although you technically don't have to read it to understand the Throne of Glass story, I highly recommend it because it adds so much to the story. There's so much backstory in this. You understand how Celaena got to be the person that she is at the beginning of Throne of Glass when she is in the mines, and why she has that chip on her shoulder. You also get to meet this fantastic person who I'm not going to say the name of because spoilers, start to love this person and then they are ripped away from you. Oh, so cruelly. So cruelly. It is in detail, and I was sobbing so hard. This definitely was a sad tears book, but it was mixed with frustration and shock and pain and anger. It hurts so good, guys. Then we have Looking for Alaska by John Green, which is also going to become a movie. I might have liked it even more than The Fault in Our Stars. Both of them will make you cry. I have a very vivid memory of when I was reading this book because I was at Mellow Mushroom, a pizza place, and I was reading it when the countdown stopped. I let out the most pain-filled gasp slash sob when I was waiting for my pizza. I was being very antisocial at the table, like, hey, I don't care about any of you. And then something happened, and all of the heads at the table turned right towards me. I had to pretend that it was an accident. I was like, oh no, just kidding. Nothing happened to me. But something happened to me. Something deep in my soul. I didn't decide to be smart though and put down the book for future reading. No, I decided to elongate the pain and keep on reading at the dinner table while trying very hard to hold back those tears. I think I might have broken a blood vessel in my eye. It hurt so much to hold back those tears, but I did it. Although I didn't actually cry while reading this book, inside, I was sobbing. Number 3 is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I actually had to read this for school. It's very rare that I get emotionally invested in school books, but I had to read this for my children's literature class in college. I had so much to say when we were discussing this book in class, and no one else seemed to be as emotionally affected by what happened as I was. I had some words to say. I honestly don't know if anyone else actually read it. Probably a bunch of people just spark noted it, and that's why they didn't care as much as I did, but I cared. You know that Friends episode when Joey is reading this book and his reactions? Those are my reactions. I am Joey. This is also a very easy to read classic if you are in the mood for a classic. It follows a family of young women during the Civil War era. The last recommendation is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. It looks very small. Deceptively small. Like, this is just like a short story, whatever. Nothing much will come of this. It won't make you feel some sort of way. You're wrong. Whoever said that, which is probably nobody because everybody knows this is fantastic. This is a coming-of-age book that follows Charlie. It's written in letter format. Charlie is going into his freshman year of high school and he doesn't really fit in. He just likes to be on the sidelines, but then he meets this group of friends and they bring him out of his shell. The events that take place in this book, there are some very hilarious ones and some devastating ones, and sometimes they're a combination of the two because his new group of friends are all seniors, so they're going to leave him the next year. He's going to be all by himself. There's also an amazing book-to-movie adaptation out that stars Logan Lerman, and Stephen Chbosky, I'm pretty sure, wrote the script for it. I came out of this book thinking about life differently, and you may not sob while reading this book, but the tears that you do shed are very meaningful. So those are some more recommendations of books that made me cry and hopefully will make you cry as well. I hope you think of me while you're reading these books and crying and you curse my name. That's all I want. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day and I will talk to you all soon in my next video.